The reality of acquiring a family property in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Ade Real Estate from Properties, Dreams and Deals, and I'm here to get it right in your real estate dealings. Do you feel real estate companies' products are way expensive and you're considering in acquiring a property from a family? You have to watch this video to the very end. Do you think there's no problem acquiring a family from a property? I can just go there. I know your brother, I know your uncle. This video is for you. Don't take a step until you're done watching this video, and you'll be glad you did. The reality of acquiring a family property. No doubt family property are way cheaper or lesser to real estate products. No doubt. So for instance, a real estate company is selling a plot of land for 5 million naira. Plus or minus, you can get a family land in that same location for 3 to 3.5 million naira. Yes. So, in terms of prices, family land are way cheaper to real estate or developers' properties. But is that all that needs to be put into consideration? No. So many times, some people have said, I don't see any reason of me buying a real estate company's product because they're always after money. But then that is not just it. I admit some point to some extent, the properties are way expensive, but then money is not the determining factor to acquire a property. No, it is not. You get to know now. So is a family property cheaper? Yes, at the elementary stage. Take note of the word elementary. At the basic stage, it is cheaper. But as you proceed, you tend to know that it is not just the way it seems to look. So a few months ago, I have a client who wants to acquire a property here in Lagos, Nigeria. I advised him to get a property from a real estate company, a genuine property that I can vouch for. I'm not going to tell you the name of the company, so you don't think I'm trying to sell a company above the other. But then a very fantastic property. The property was going for 15 million naira total package at a very good location with a very good title. So he stays in the US. So I told him 15 million naira. I sent the videos, we did a video call. But I think he contacted one of his brother here in Nigeria, and the person said that money is too much, that he can also get the same land in that same location for 10 million naira. So my client told me he's not sure he's going to go with what I advised him to get. So he followed his brother. So what do you think happened? Let's watch and you get to know when I said earlier on that family lands are cheaper at the elementary stage. So I'm going to take you to the process of acquiring a family land. What you need to put in place, what you will encounter, and how you can possibly absorb for it or you fall a victim. So watch, I'll be glad. If you're coming across this video for the first time, please do subscribe so you can get more quality content from us. So the first process to acquire a family land in Nigeria, number one, you must have somebody that has recommended the property to you. So either an agent, a friend, or a family. So you have a middleman that is in between you and the seller of the property. That's the family now. So most times the person might be an agent. So if it happens to be an agent, you're going to pay agency fee. So note agency fee. So the agent takes you to the site, you inspect. You check the property around, is it a good location, blah, blah, blah. The best you can do is just to appreciate the physical appearance, the physical physique of the land. That's the best you can do at the first stage now. So now, trying to verify the authenticity of the property. Now, number one, you will need a licensed surveyor. So note number two, a licensed surveyor. What is he coming to do at the first stage? He's coming here to take the coordinates of the land so as to do what is called charting, to check whether or not this property belongs to the government or not, or is on a proposed place for a property, a development in future. So he takes the coordinates to the Surveyor General's office and allows her to check, to verify. So note, you're going to pay him for charting, for verification. You're going to pay the license surveyor. Sometimes the list minimum of 20 to 100,000, depending on the surveyor and your negotiation. Also, you need to get a seasoned property lawyer to also carry on due diligence to ascertain the validity of that property. Who are the owners of the property? Do you have the right to sell? Is the property not a mortgage? Is the property not subject to litigation? So you're also paying a lawyer now, a seasoned property lawyer, for due diligence. So averagely, a lawyer should take a minimum of 50 to 200,000, depend on the lawyer you're contacting. Yes, so 50 to 200,000 for a lawyer. Now, that's at the first stage, just to be sure whether or not you can buy this property or not. So you're going to pay, number one, the seasoned, a licensed surveyor and a lawyer. So roughly at the first stage, just to know whether or not you want to buy, you're spending probably 100,000, minimum 100,000. Now you should have this at the back of your mind, since this is a family land. Sometimes those family people are very dramatic, extremely dramatic. Sometimes they will tell you, this their Olori Ebe, blah, 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 will not sign the deed of assignment until you pay them. This is not what should be applicable, but this is what is in reality. It has happened to me most times. We go there, we have like 5 people sign a deed of assignment. 3 of them will say they're not going to sign until you pay them. But it is your duty to sign a document for a property you are transferring to me. They will just throw you out. So sometimes you might need to pay them. Sometimes you might not even escape it. You might need to pay them for just signing what they've collected money for. So have this at the back of your mind that you might still pay for signing of documents. This is not in papers, but this is in reality. The other day I went to the client to a property at Shagamu, and we'll send the money to them. Okay, sign. Okay, about to send the money so they can sign. They say, no, they are not going to, they will not sign this document until you pay them. That they cannot even hold their biro by the hand, that the child has to come and that's funny things. But we're here to pay. We're here to pay the balance. So most times you sign a contract of sale first before verifying and sign the deed. So they will refuse not to sign the deed at all. At that point, there's little or nothing you can do, because you guys have signed a contract of sale, but then a contract of sale does not transfer right and interest to you. You're not the legitimate owner of the property with a contract of sale. Now this is them now refusing to sign a deed of assignment that should transfer right and interest to you. And knowing well you've paid part payment for the property before then. So what will you do? Legally you should not, but in reality you would. That is Nigeria. You would, because would you say, okay, I'm not buying the property again? It's very difficult for you to get your money back. So at that point, you will have to pay for them signing a document. Not that the situation is one very good. Sometimes it doesn't change, and sometimes you pay for that. These are unforeseen things you won't know before you proceed, right? So now we are done with the second stage. The property is yours legally. What is the third step? This third stage is a stage most of you get frustrated because you're not aware of it from the onset. So watch out. So before we move to the third stage, I know you're so anxious to hear, but note, this is very important. After acquiring a property, it is paramount for you. This is my God-fearing advice to you. Have another money in store you buy that property again, should the unforeseen happen. But in reality, this is what happens. Most times you end up buying a particular land 3 times. I was involved in a case. A client of mine bought a property in Ikorodu. I don't want to mention the name. Paid for the property, signed the document. The property is not even a government property. So after 3 months, he decided to develop the property. He went to site, and when he got to site, some boys came and said, get away from the property. They chased him away, like, what are you doing here? He said he bought the property, the owner of the property. He was contending on legal grounds that he was the owner because he had a transfer. So they said she bring the document that was used to sell the property to him. They now discover that it was a distant cousin that sold the land to him, not the proper family that owns the property. Though they are using the same name, but the person that sold the property to him is not. He does not have the capacity, the right to transfer a land. So at that point, there was no value transfer. The client had to pay again, had to buy the property again, because what he bought initially was rubbish. The third stage, now the property is yours. No issue now, the property is yours. And you want to develop your property, your land. You want to build a 4-bedroom duplex on the land. Before you start, before you can do your foundation, you pay for what is called foundation money. Now, this money doesn't have a fixed price. It is left for them to decide whatever they want to charge you for foundation. It is a must. Without you paying that money, you can't do no dime on the land that belongs to you. Sometimes the foundation money, sometimes 200,000, sometimes 500,000, sometimes 1 million, depending on the location of the property. Sometimes it varies on location. So you are still going to pay the third stage now, pay for foundation money. So for a property of 500,000, the least you can pay, the least, that's in reality what I've been involved in, the least you can pay is 300,000 in a prime location now. 300,000. That's number one. Now they'll tell you, you pay security levy. You won't see this in book, but this is what is reality. You pay for security levy. Tell you that there's a security levy you have to pay. Sometimes it might be 50,000 to 100,000. Another money you pay for that will be so absurd to you after acquiring a property is to tell you have to pay for okoile and the crop of the ground. Kilo day after paying fully for the property, you still pay for it. Tell you the grandfather used to farm on this land, they used to do on this land, you have to pay. And you must pay. So sometimes it's always between 20 to 80,000, depending on 100,000, depending on the location. Now the location differs. So you still pay for you pay. Why? Number 4, you still pay for roofing for you to roof your property. Property you've built now, you've won a 2 or 3, you still pay for roofing. If not, they don't allow you. So you are paying for roofing again. Roofing, 20 to 100,000. Within 20 to 100,000, depending on the location, for you to roof your property. And they didn't contribute. When you were suffering to get the money, they were not there. So you still pay for roofing. Now, and I hope you know, and you are fully aware that for every material that is being brought to site, you'll be paying them little money at the street or at the area entrance. Hope you know. If they are bringing sand, they will sort them out. If they are bringing stone, you will pay. You will pay. And hope you know also your properties are in the hands of God until you are done building. So you can just go to site one day and you can't find 50 bags of cement or a trip of granite or sand. Those are the realities you meet. So imagine, sometimes there was an area I went to the other day, they were collecting 500 for every tipper that comes to the environment. So imagine those and you must pay, not they don't allow them to come in. So you are paying for that. Now you finish your property, very good 4-bedroom duplex, amazing, well structured. Now you need electricity. Hope you know you still pay for that. You still pay for electricity. You still pay the CDA. Sometimes I was involved in a matter last year, or 2021 last year. My client has to pay 500,000 for him to be able to draw electricity to his house. You are done with your wonderful 4-bedroom duplex. Good finishing, and you need power, you need electricity. Now, you will still pay for that. You still pay for that. Sometimes the money is very outrageous. To tell you, they were the one that brought power to this environment. They spent over 10 million, blah, blah, blah. Last year, 2021, last year, now I was working with the matter. A client of mine had finished his property and they were telling me to bring a millionaire for him to have power in his house. How? We had to beg for them to collect 500,000 naira from our hand. We have to beg. We begging. Okay, Joe, please, just take this one. That's how. So that's the reality you meet. So this is the process of acquiring a family land, a community land, and these are the challenges you meet day by day. And not even the spiritual part whereby they don't even want anybody to be the amazing property in particular location. Yes, there are some forces there, but I don't want to go spiritual, so let me stop there. So this is the reality you meet on ground. So now imagine a property of 5 million naira. How much have you spent in total? How much? So let's do the calculation together. So this is a mass. 5 million naira for property, that's separate. 500,000 naira for surveyor, 500,000 naira for lawyer, 500,000 for survey. You have 1.5 million naira. That's for the second stage. Now the first stage, remember you're paying for chatting and due diligence. So let's work with 100,000 naira for the first stage, 1.5 million for the second stage. Now the third stage, now the money you have aside, should it fails, you have to buy 5 million naira separate. Let's keep this one at one side. Now foundation money, let's work with 300,000. Security levy, sometimes from 50 to 100,000. Let's work with 50,000 naira. 50. Money for crop, blah blah blah. Let's work with 30,000. Money for roofing. Let's work with 50,000. Money for electricity. Let's work with 500,000. Money for dropping materials and other expenses, let's work with 50,000. So let's calculate. This is the figure we'll be having after adding all little expenses you might not put into cognizance before acquiring a family property. So foundation 300, security 50, crop 30, roofing 50, power 500, dropping of materials 50, sending of documents in case 20. So that's 1 million naira. Remember, you're going to pay surveyor, lawyer, and agents 500,000. That's 1.5 million. So at the end of the day, 2.5 million naira extra. Now, remember, you still have around 5 million naira. In case, because if not, you buy a court case. So in case, have around 500,000 naira, 5 million naira somewhere else. In case it fails, you buy again through the process called gratification. I will explain this concept in my next video very soon than now. So 2.5 million naira. So in total, you're spending 7.5 million naira. Now the figures I give were just average figures. So not working figures because sorry to your location and the particular time you're buying, it might differ. So this is the reality you meet on ground when buying a family or a community property. You might want to ask, is it now good for me to acquire a family property? There's no crime. It's not illegal to acquire a family property. All you need to do is to get the professionals that are needed on the ground, seasoned lawyer, a licensed surveyor, a competent realtor to guide you, and also do your internal research very well. Then you must be mentally ready to face anything that comes your way. You must be mentally ready because it's not always the way it is. So there's no crime buying a family property. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. There's no crime. You can as well buy a family property, but you must be ready for the battles and the little bass-boss. So that's it with acquiring a family property, a community property. You must ensure. Now, when you buy, you must also ensure you move further to get a better title. Title is paramount. Sometimes in law, who owns the title, owns the property. Yes, because if I have a C of O and you're presenting just a survey, I have a C of O. I have been granted the right of ownership on that property. So what to secure your possession on that land, what to secure your right and interest is the title you further get to further reestablish your ownership on that property. You might want to ask, is there a price difference between buying from a real estate company and buying from a family, as you've aligned other fees you still pay while buying from the family? We'll do a video to that effect so you can get it properly. They are always up and down in any dealing at all. So are there challenges too in buying from a real estate company? The answer is yes. That's why you need professionals to guide you so you don't make mistake. You need to take certain preventive measures to guide your interest. Now you have to know, while investing in real estate, you have to be selfish. You have to work with your interest. You must guide your interest dutifully. So, at Property Dreams and Deals, our core mandate to make sure you don't miss. As easy as it is to make it in real estate, it's also easy for you to miss it. So your investment must be profitable, must give you good profit. So to come here next time, please do subscribe, like, and share on our page. And we promise to deliver good and better content as we proceed. So I come here next time. I am Ade Real Estate from Properties, Dreams, and Deals. Thank you.